Good morning to one and all. This is Kranth and I am going to teach you today on Photoshop menu bar. Yes, of course, we have been learning about Photoshop and few uses of the Photoshop. మీ అందరికీ గుర్తుంటే Photoshop first నుంచి we have been learning what are the uses of Photoshop and how exactly the Photoshop is used in a different way. All that you just have to remember in Photoshop is always two things, that is one, creating an image, and the other one is editing the image. So of course we have been learning about the menu bar, you know, untai menu loni. Yes, we have been going through the file, edit, and then of course layers and then filters. We have been learning about these till yesterday. So today let us see what we are going to learn. Guys, one more thing very important for you is more than the interface of the Photoshop ante lopala panchadam kanna first Photoshop lo any options unnai at the same time ivanni ela upayogapadatai. These are the most important things that you have to know before you actually work on Photoshop, because when you don't know what are the options that you have in Photoshop, you really can't go forward and start doing some work in the Photoshop. So this can be a little ununderstandable if you really don't have any idea about the Photoshop and its tools. So today I'm going to teach you more about the menu bar and then we'll start working on the Photoshop. So now let us see the slide here. We have view, in which we have zoom in and out, we have print size, and then we have extras. So these are the options that you can see here in view, especially this is like one of the last menu, I think I can say it, because window and help are not that much useful when you are working on Photoshop, but yes, these are useful, but only when you miss on something. Coming to the main menu bar, yes, of course, the view is one of the last used option here. If you can see, zoom in and out, which I already have said you, control plus plus is to zoom in, control plus minus is zoom out, fit on screen is control plus O, actual pixels alt control plus O. And then print size is actually, these come under the printing options. Then we have extras, that is, if you want some vertical and horizontal lines in Photoshop for the proper usage of web development or something, then you can use extras. These are something which actually would help you out in Photoshop when you are working on it. So I'll show you in Photoshop. Here is a work file. Okay, I'll import a work file, and yes, we have been working on this. Yes, yesterday we have created this a painting posture. So let's not disturb that. So I'll create a new file. Okay. Here is something. So now I'll show you control plus plus, which is actually zooming in, isn't it? Okay. Okay, now I'll show you. This is minimizing when I'm pressing control plus minus. Control plus plus actually increases your workspace, and as we have seen, this one and this one we have seen, and then fit on screen is control O. I'll also show you that. So I don't know where am I exactly, so I'll press control plus O, control plus 0. See, I'll press it again, control plus 0. This is actually fit on screen. This actually shows you how to fit exactly on screen. And then that's what I have mentioned. And then we have print size, which in fact is nothing but how exactly you want to print size, what size you actually want to get printed. So this is what you actually have to edit something, and I'll edit. I'm just doing a basic edit, the mirror in fact. So now let us see. Is what I was telling you, isn't it? So always create a new layer and start working on it, because this is going to give you a good. So now I'll prepare a glass effect. It's going to be really amazing. Now, so I'm just reducing the opacity so that you can have a glass effect, and this can properly be like a glass. And this is what is something which we create usually by using Photoshop. So now I will this is some kind of logo, you can say. Okay. All right. So this is what we have created, and then I can actually use the print option now. So whatever I want to print, if I want to only print this, I can print only this. Depends, And then let's see what we can work on. Extras is nothing but the rulers on the page. I'll show you. So now the rulers are gone. If you can see, there are no rulers here. And now I'll again press it so that we got the rulers here. If you can see, we have the tagline and everything here. So this is one of the most important things you have to remember every time. Okay. So here we have rulers. When I type Ctrl H again, the rulers are gone. So always remember that. Okay. Beautiful. So now let's start working on our Photoshop. So now the menu bar is completed. Still we have window, which actually helps us in finding out what we actually have. For example, I have deleted this by mistakenly, and now I don't know what is this. So now if I go to Windows, Okay, I'll explain you more clearly. So now let us go for Windows. Yes. The same function with view in other Windows applications such as MS Office. You can select what you want to make visible on your page and what you don't want to make visible on your page. Yes, మనకి ఇప్పుడు ఇంటర్ఫేస్లోనే ఏమైనా కావాలి అంటే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐ విల్ షో యూ ది ఇంటర్ఫేస్. ఇవన్నీ మీకు డిస్టర్బ్ చేస్తున్నాయి, యూనో దిస్ ఇస్ డిస్టర్బింగ్ యూ, యూనో దిస్ ఇస్ డిస్టర్బింగ్ యూ. I will close this, close this, I will close this. So ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇవన్నీ పోయాయి. So if we want to work on it, okay, so even this is gone, this is gone. So now there is nothing, you know, in fact there is nothing out here. How are you going to work? So when I press Ctrl+0, you have actually got into the main page, but all these are missing, isn't it? Photoshop lo ivanni miss ayipote how can you work? So at this time, whatever you want, usually professionals what they do, they only put what they actually want in the page. Of course, tools are very much important because without tools you really can't work on Photoshop. Then of course options are very much important because without options it's waste of using the toolbox. You know, whenever you select something, there are options which come for you. You know, you click anything, there are options, isn't it? So without options you basically can't work on it. And then of course navigator is very much important because navigator lekunda we can't go and select what exactly and where exactly you want. Then color is what exactly puts you here. And then history is very much important because whatever you are doing, the history will come here. And then obviously layers are very much important. So yes, whatever we have deleted, and again we have created the same interface again. So this is nothing but meeku edaina kavali anukunte adi ikkada pettukuntam, ledu ante you can actually delete it. Naku interface lo takwa tools undali, నాకు ఎక్కువ టూల్స్ ఉండకూడదు అంటే you can actually delete all this, you know. But guys, I'm telling you, when you're working on Photoshop, I'll tell you what are the most important things that you have to remember. I'll again tell you, guys, when you're working, check always whether you have tools and options checked, and then the layers. E 3 lekunda you really can't work on anything because these three are the most important things in the interface. ఈ 3 అనేవి చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ మనం వర్క్ చేయాలి ఫోటోషాప్లో అంటే. Then of course some things are there which can make your you know, work easier. That is navigator. Then for example, if I zoom in, you know, I can basically even edit from here. See, I am just clicking in the navigator and I'm able to move it. Easy, right? I'll zoom in more and I can come anywhere here. I can see the image here and I can just click on wherever I want. That's one thing, advantage with the navigator. And then color is of course very much important because what color are you working on is also important, isn't guys? Like, you know, manam ee colors meeda pan chestunam, at the same time you have swatches here, you have style here. So anything you can basically work on it. Advantage of working on colors, usually professionals will love to put this color interface in the interface. And then history is very much important because history ante manam em chestunam. For example, if you have deleted something, yes, of course it will also come here. And if you have done something, any editing here, it will also come here. So this is the most useful things that you can basically check on here, right guys? So this is the creating interface with the help of Windows. So now we'll check toolbar. So finally we are on to the Photoshop here, that is toolbar. So now we are only going to work on mark, lasso, magic wand and crop. So let us see what is mark tool. This is called mark tool. So let us see here. This is the toolbar. You can increase the size. Okay. So this is the toolbar that you can see. This is mark tool, the first one. We have rectangular mark tool, elliptical mark tool, single row mark tool, single column mark tool. And we also have the shortcut as M. For example, guys, I am in the text, okay. So let us imagine I am in the text. So how to come back to the mark tool? So once I press M, the selection obviously come to the mark tool. Now I am in the text, okay. The selection is already there, it's in the blue color. So once I press M on my keyboard, the selection obviously go to the mark tool. Guys, mark tool దేనికి ఉపయోగపడుతుంది? If you want to create a lines, or if you want to create an object, for example, I'll show it again for you. Let us delete everything here. Delete this. I'll delete this. Delete. So we are basically left with tool, isn't it? Okay. So here we are in the background. Okay. So now mark tool అనేది దేనికి ఉపయోగపడుతుంది? If you want to create a rectangular column, especially when you are working on pamphlets or brochures, yes, of course, this will be useful for you. Like, for example, let me show you. So I'll create a new layer, put this column, and then have added the color. So guys, at the same time, one more important doubt from more of the students that I have heard is how to actually close the mark tool. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇది చేయంగానే మనకు ఒక సెలెక్షన్ లాగా వస్తుంది. దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ సెలెక్షన్. సో మనం ఏం చేసినా సెలెక్షన్లోనే అవుతుంది. సో వన్స్ ఐ పుట్ ద కలర్ ఇన్ టు దిస్, సో ఇప్పుడు సార్ ఈ సెలెక్షన్ ఎలా పోవాలి, ఈ సెలెక్షన్ అనేది ఎలా పోతుంది? సో ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ ఐ పుట్ ది అదర్ వన్, ఈ సెలెక్షన్ అలాగే ఉంటుంది. హౌ టు ఈ సెలెక్షన్ అనేది ఎలా పోవాలి? యాజ్ సింపుల్ Ctrl+D, ఆ సెలెక్షన్ పోతుంది. సో సి ఇప్పుడు ఈ సెలెక్షన్ ఉంది, ఈ సెలెక్షన్ పోవాలి అంటే Ctrl+D. This is the most important thing you also have to remember, because these shortcuts will help you in understanding where exactly you are. So I will create another layer. and then start using this. Okay, I'll change the color or else probably green. So we have one color here, Control D, and then I'll select this, Control J, and move it here, and then I'll change the color. Okay. Then again I'll use one more, change it, the kind of brochures. Of course, these are going to be very helpful for you, because whenever you are creating a brochure, you actually can create such type of easiest way of brochure. So this is what you can do. And if you want to create a round one, yes, you can. So I have applied a basic color here. Okay, Control D for changing it. So now if you want to see what is the mistake that we have done here. The mistake that we have done is putting this in the same layer. See, layer lone rendu pettesam. That is a very big mistake. We should never do it. So I'll go back. I'll create a new layer and then I will use it. Okay, and now I'll apply color and unselect it. So now see, I can only use this. This is the mistake that we do regularly. So this can be a kind of brochure, or you can actually also say a kind of relative bond or a presentation. I little transform it. See, okay, now what I'll do, okay, so here we are. So now you can basically put some text if you want. You can write anything you want. For example, project. Okay, let's not put it here. Okay, project APSSDC. As this project APSSDC, and we are going to add another thing. You're going to select file, or else we can put it as you can say let us put something, overall, overall expenditure. And also put this, or else overall performance. You can put this. This is like a project file, it looks very nice, isn't it? Chala baguntundi ila work chestunte. This is the creativity, it's just you have to put a lot of creativity in doing the Photoshop, because as much as excellence you're putting here, it will be helpful for you, because everybody wants the classic output, isn't it? Overall performance, and now you can put it as project report, or project we already have mentioned, or you can basically put individual performance, or individual track. So a kind of get used things, individual track. So now we'll put it again. So this is all I'm just doing with the mark tool, isn't it? Now I will online Control J, okay. Okay, online, and we'll name it as offline, isn't it? Okay, this is a little bit small, right? Okay, so this is the most important thing, this can be the project report. Okay, This is what I have created, isn't it? So how is it, guys? So this is one of the easiest ways of putting an appraisal, or creating a online track, or this is how you actually create a basic presentation or a beautiful classic output. ఇలాంటివి images చేసుకొని ఒక 4-5, if you put it in a file and give it, it will be very nice, isn't it? Like this gives a people good, is like a very good option for each and every person. No? Okay. I'm trying to. Let's not apply this. So this is one kind of nice editing that you can actually do. See how nice it is. Okay. So this is a classic way of giving a presentation or something. Guys, even if you want, you can put many things. This is just, we have done it through the mark tool. So this mark tool is the most important thing that you have to remember. So in mark tool we have rectangular mark tool, which actually gives you the rectangle output, and then we have elliptical, which actually gives you the round shape, and then we have single row, which I'm sorry, I will select single row mark tool. See, it's just the line that comes, the single line. I will put it. There's nothing that have come, isn't it? I'll put black so that we can see if we have applied some color onto it. See, a single tool, a single line that comes. We can't even guess it. There is a line, a very thin line, that comes. And at the same time, if you want to put the single column mark tool or vertically, this is like a vertically, it's just to create unexpected lines, which we can't even, it will be like a nice editing things, just to create a good impact. This will be more useful. See, the biggest mistake I have done is putting onto the same lines. Okay, let's not do this. So here we are doing a project file kind of presentation. So now I'll save it as, guys, we only have work today on mark tool. Okay, the first tool in the toolbox, the first option that we're going to have, this one is mark tools. The entire 4 options that you have is called the mark tool. This is just to create anything, a round or a rectangular or a thin column lines here on the Photoshop. This is the most important thing, and this we have done using only the mark tool. So, very important to have a lesson on it, because this is when we can actually create a good posters or design things, so that is very helpful for you people. So, we have learned Mark tool today, and we'll save this file. So, let us see. We'll save it as JPEG and putting we will work on Mark tool. So, I am saving it, large file obviously. Okay. So, I have created it, and also I will save the PSD file. So, now let us see how exactly do our options we have. So, we have Photoshop, yes, our image is ready. See how nice it is. We have done a project APSSDC, overall performance, individual track, online and offline APSSDC. So nice, isn't it? It's very nice. Like, this is how you actually create a project file or something. Okay, so don't ever forget this. And guys, whenever I say how to work on Photoshop, the Photoshop have so many, many remembrances, or you have many creativities that you create without knowing. Even I don't know that I am going to create an image like this before I started the work. So guys, this all will help you out in giving you the best output. Photoshop is always there to give you the good output, and as well as a good creativity. It increases the creativity that you have already in your head. So as much as you do and as much as you explore in Photoshop, you get so many ideas on how to improve your project. If some project is given to you, meek edana project icharante, if you start working on Photoshop, and if you start putting so many things or so many work files in Photoshop and so many interfaces in Photoshop, and when you start adding effects to your work file, that will obviously give you the best output, and when you show it to the people, people will obviously encourage you. So idantha entante meeku best output ivvadaniki, at the same time చూసిన వాళ్ళకి వావ్ ఇది ఎక్కడ చేశారో వాళ్ళకి కూడా ఎక్సైట్మెంట్ వస్తుంది అనమాట. సో దిస్ ఇస్ యాక్చువల్లీ you have to remember whenever you are doing Photoshop. So I am Kranth, and yes, we have learned Mark tool today. So we'll be learning more tools on next coming classes. So please start practicing Photoshop, and hope you will be good in Photoshop. Thank you so much, and I'll be taking more classes for you.